back. Hasta la vista.
Calculating cyber operations. I'm sorry, John. I'm afraid I can't do that.
It was just a few days ago that Donald Trump lied about an ad that made him look ridiculous from the Lincoln Project, saying that it was a deep fake. He was really aggrieved at the use of AI. And again, it wasn't used in that ad, but his side seems to like using it to target his opponents. Let's take a look at this.
And welcome to a special edition of Meet the Press Now, coming to you live from beautiful Miami, Florida, as we count down to the third Republican presidential debate hosted by NBC News. I'm Garrett, Haake, live from our NBC News Debate Hall spin room, where we are just hours away from 5 Republican candidates taking the stage. Tonight, it's arguably a game of survival as the field faces major questions about the state of their own campaigns and the state of this race, with frontrunner Donald Trump maintaining his commanding lead and once again skipping the contest. This is Ron DeSantis, an establishment rhino that wears insoles in his boots in order to look taller, and this is Nikki Haley. Nobody really gives a shit about Nikki Haley. This guy is probably just a stagehand. Who the f invited this guy? And this guy is probably just delivering pizzas. Anyway, nobody cares about these rhino debates, especially when you know that Donald Trump is going to kick some ass tonight.
Okay, I'm not going to tell you that that was not funny, because that was kind of funny. It was also, though, incredibly deceptive, and it is possible that with how stupid the average person is these days, that many people came away thinking that that was actually footage from NBC News. It was not. I mean, some of it was, but when they go to the shots of the individual candidates, that's not actually what a reporter for NBC News was saying, and they are now demanding that the video be taken down. Bear in mind, it was posted by Chris LaCivita, who is identified as a Trump senior advisor. So you could understand why they would be concerned about this being passed off as if it's real. Rayyvana, I have other thoughts, but what do you make of this?
Well, first, I really like that they included at the end of the video the Trump dance, which I have referred to as Trump double hand job dance, which is exactly what it is. I'm sorry.
He's a giving dancer.
It's obviously parody. It's really hard to argue that somebody would watch that and think it was an official report, an actual video posted by NBC. The legal implications behind it, I think, are mostly predicated on whether or not this video was made by Trump campaign officials or whether or not it was just reposted. Obviously, he backed down after initially posting it and said, this is clearly parody. I agree that it's pretty clearly parody, but I think it raises some interesting questions about publicity rights and AI generating celebrity or public individuals' voices to say certain things. Right now, my Twitter ads are all just fake pills and supplements being sold by people like Joe Rogan that are completely AI generated, totally fake. And so that's a more interesting area to explore legally for me than something like this, which is relatively harmless fun, I'd say. But I understand why NBC would be upset about it, and of course the individual whose voice and likeness they were using.
Yeah, this can be clearly parody. Again, I think to most people, we can never underestimate how stupid and credulous people are on the internet, but they have to fight against it because the next one will be less obvious, and then the one after that will be less obvious. I agree, by the way, on the ads. I think it's Mediaite or Raw Story. The ads are all now just AI generated images that have been like incredibly poorly animated. So like it looks like a person who's taking pills and their head is moving a little bit, but their features are warping because it's all AI. Welcome to the internet in 2023, everyone. But so look, I don't want the guy to be locked up for posting a parody or whatever. I want to be very clear about that. But I also want to be clear of a couple of other things. One, in terms of comedy, it was funny, but like, why does Tim Scott have to be the stagehand?
Yeah, yeah.
And Ramaswamy, best case scenario, they're saying he's delivering pizza because he's the young guy on there. But a little bit about, weird how those two candidates are the ones that you have those particular issues with. I also want to point out, like, yeah, they all suck, but Trump is gonna be like, he's gonna be beating everyone. Yeah, he didn't show up. Remember? He's the guy who refused. Those clowns, he's scared to debate them. I would just remind all of you Trump people of that. Because if he's so much better and so much stronger and so much more together mentally, he could just go there, destroy them in one debate and the primary's done. But he doesn't do that. So again, it's fun to like put up videos of him dancing. He's not dancing. He's sitting at home on his ass, refusing to debate because he's terrified of what would happen to him. So remember that. And also, the context is, I don't like the new media landscape we're moving into, where the Lincoln Project puts together an ad that I think goes too far. I didn't love that ad, but every video and audio tape that they played of Trump was real, and Trump can just say it's fake because now there's lots of fake stuff out there. So you can just avoid the consequences of what you've actually said by appealing the fact to the reality that we don't know what could be real. And this plays into that. Now, every video, you're gonna have to be like, well, that seems ridiculous, but sometimes ridiculous things happen. I just don't like that, environment where it's already so difficult to know what is true. These tools are allowing bad actors to add like even more uncertainty and ambiguity. Anyway, any other thoughts before we move on?
I'll just say to that point, we covered a story on the main show I was hosting where we talked about audio of Andrew Tate admitting to raping women and saying horrific, abusive things to them. And after that video went up, my inbox was just filled with incels telling me that was deep fake AI, whatever they wanted to say about it, despite the fact that was audio that was in police evidence used in it when they were determining whether or not to prosecute him for those crimes. It's confirmed real audio. And even despite the fact that it was from 2013, before Andrew Tate was really a public figure and before this technology was as advanced as it is today, and it's still 100%. Lacking in some areas, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't deter them. They'll just continue to say that it's fake, it's a deep fake, it's AI, because it's an easy thing for them to point to now. Like, as you said, there's so much out there that is fake that they can just, shield their preferred, male influencer from any sex crime liability by making that argument.
And the awesome thing about it is that the very tapes they're now claiming are, come on, that's not real, are the things they love about those guys.
Right.
They love when Andrew Tate does stuff like that. But if it suddenly makes him look bad or adds legal liability, then that was just fake, that's not real. Meanwhile, they believe, based off of like a 4chan post, that Hillary Clinton's eating baby faces. The standards for evidence are all topsy-turvy up in this world. Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.